You ever wonder why one wedding has 3 chefs sweating over a grill, while another just has one guy with a sandwich station and a smile? It is not random, it is math, and the math is all about speed versus experience. Think of an event like a video game level, except the boss is called Hungry Humans and the clock is always ticking. Vendors look at guest count first because feeding 50 people is a stroll in the park, but feeding 500 is basically a military operation. Chefs are the wizards behind the curtain, the ones actually creating the food, and you generally need more of them when the menu gets fancier plated. But if it is just tacos and chips at a backyard bash, you do not need a wizard. You need someone who can flip things fast and not cry when the salsa runs out. Servers are the delivery system. Think of them like little conveyor belts with legs, moving food from station to stomach. The fancier the event, like a seated dinner, the more servers you need, because nobody wants to wait 45 minutes for their chicken while making awkward small talk. Cashiers only show up when money is changing hands on the spot, like at a festival or a pop-up stand. If it is an all-inclusive wedding where grandma already paid for everyone, cashiers just stay home and binge their shows. Here's the twist most people do not expect. Speed and experience are actually in a tug-of-war with each other. More experienced staff can move faster with fewer people, but newer staff need backup, which means more bodies just to hit the same speed. Vendors basically build a staffing puzzle based on 3 things: how fast food needs to come out, how complicated the food is, and how much personal interaction the event calls for. A drive-through style food truck line needs speed above everything, so you stack servers and cashiers like dominoes. A sit-down gala is the opposite. It needs fewer people moving fast and more people moving smooth, like a slow-motion dance instead of the sprint. That is why gala staff seem so calm. They are not slow, they are just playing chess while the food truck crew plays speed chess. Let's talk numbers for a second, because vendors actually use ratios, like 1 chef for every 50 to 75 guests at a plated dinner. For servers, it is often 1 for every 20 to 25 guests if it is a seated meal, because nobody wants a server sprinting a marathon with hot soup. Buffets flip the ratio because guests serve themselves, so you need fewer servers, but somehow the chef workload barely changes, since food still has to be made and refilled constantly. It is like the kitchen is running underground while the dining room looks peaceful and chill. A common misunderstanding is thinking more staff always means better service, but that is like adding more cooks to a tiny kitchen. Chaos multiplies instead of speed. Good vendors actually think in terms of flow, not headcount, because too many cashiers with 1 register is just an expensive traffic jam. Experience changes everything here. 1 veteran server can often outwork 3 rookies because they know the shortcuts, the timing, and how to read a room without asking a single question. This is why some vendors pay more for fewer, sharper people instead of cheaper, larger crews. There is also a psychological trick happening. Guests judge an event's quality based on wait time more than food taste, at least in the first 10 minutes. That means staffing for speed at the start of an event can matter just as much as staffing for taste later on. The best vendors treat staffing like a recipe itself, mixing roles based on format, guest flow, and complexity instead of copying the same formula every time. It is honestly less about rules and more about reading the event like a weather forecast and adjusting before the storm hits. So next time you are at an event wondering why there are 5 servers but only 1 cashier, now you know it is not random, it is strategy dressed up as hospitality. If you want to learn more about how event vendors actually pull all this off, check out our links in the description.